A regional staffing agency headquartered in Greenville, South Carolina, violated federal law by discriminating against a class of females when it failed to hire or refer them to available positions.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Boss Watch is a segment that we do every single week where we take a look at what laws bosses are breaking in the South. So we start in Georgia, where the U.S. Department of Labor cited a Florida painting contractor for willfully exposing workers to fall and drowning hazards. Investigators with the department's Occupational Safety and Health Administration determined that on April 7th, 2025, Seminole Equipment Incorporated bridge painters were removing scaffolding from the southbound I-95 bridge on the Ogeechee River when one worker fell into the river and drowned. The agency concluded that the Tarpon Springs, Florida-based employer failed to ensure employees used fall protection and life jackets while working on the bridge section. A critical piece of our mission to put American workers first is ensuring they are safe and protected on the job, said Secretary of Labor Lori Chavez DeRemer. No American should go into work fearing they might not make it home at the end of the day. OSHA is taking concrete enforcement action to stop preventable tragedies. The Department of Labor is committed to protecting our nation's workforce by holding bad actors accountable, said Deputy Secretary of Labor Keith Sonderling. We will continue addressing careless practices when we see them to achieve our shared goal of safe and productive workplaces for all Americans. OSHA cited Seminole Equipment Incorporated for 5 willful and 3 serious violations and proposed $877,000 in penalties. The agency also issued 2 serious violations to the L.C. Whitford Company, the controlling employer for the site, and a proposed penalty of $26,000.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
Heading to Alabama, WorkSmart Staffing LLC, a regional staffing agency in the southeastern United States headquartered in Greenville, South Carolina, violated federal law by discriminating against a class of females when it failed to hire or refer them to available positions, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission charged in a lawsuit last week. According to the EEOC's lawsuit, from August 1st, 2020 to August 8th, 2023, WorkSmart failed to hire or refer a class of aggrieved females for laborer positions because of their sex at 2 of the company's offices in Hoover and Leeds, Alabama. The EEOC's complaint charged that one of WorkSmart's clients requested male laborers only for their facility, and that WorkSmart complied with the client's discriminatory request. Federal law protects applicants and employees from discrimination based on sex in hiring and job assignments, and the EEOC is committed to enforcing and remedying unlawful sex discrimination, said EEOC Birmingham District Director Bradley Anderson. Such alleged conduct violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination because of an individual's sex. The EEOC filed suit in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Alabama, Middle Division, after first attempting to reach a pre-litigation settlement via its conciliation process. The EEOC is seeking back pay, front pay, compensatory damages, and punitive damages for the affected females, as well as injunctive relief to prevent future discrimination. Marsha Rucker, regional attorney for the EEOC's Birmingham District Office, said, "Unfortunately, some companies engage in sex-based hiring practices that have no place in today's workforce. The EEOC remains vigilant to prevent sex-based hiring practices across all sectors of employment." Over in Louisiana, the Coca-Cola Bottling Company, the 3rd largest bottler and distributor of Coca-Cola products in the United States and headquartered in Birmingham, Alabama, violated federal law by failing to accommodate an employee with a disability and then firing him because of his disability, the EEOC charged in a lawsuit last week. According to the lawsuit, the employee, who worked as a delivery driver for the company in Lafayette, Louisiana, was diagnosed with renal disease requiring requiring dialysis. After he asked for a change in his work schedule to accommodate his dialysis, the company determined he could not work a different schedule as an accommodation and told the employee to apply and compete for other jobs in the company aligned with his medical restrictions. The employee identified and applied for a job with a schedule allowing him to continue dialysis while working full-time. However, even though he qualified for the position, the company refused to place him into the position and then terminated him in August 2022. Employers must provide employees with disabilities reasonable accommodations absent undue hardship, said Michael Kirkland, director of the EEOC's New Orleans field office. The EEOC will diligently investigate and, if necessary, file suit against employers that violate the rights of their employees. Such alleged conduct violates the Americans with Disabilities Act, which prohibits disability discrimination in employment. The EEOC filed suit in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Louisiana after first attempting to reach a pre-litigation settlement through its administrative conciliation process. Elizabeth Owen, a senior trial attorney in the EEOC's New Orleans field office, said it's critical for employers to understand that they have an affirmative legal obligation to make reasonable changes to an employee's work environment to accommodate an employee's disability. When an employee can no longer perform the essential duties of his current job, reassignment to a vacant position may be a reasonable accommodation under the ADA. And this segment of Boss Watch Union Busters covers national updates. It's sponsored by Labor Lab. Labor Lab is an employer watchdog organization. They are committed to safeguarding the right to organize through unions, collective bargaining, and mutual aid. They do this by combing through reports that union busters are required to file with the Department of Labor. Here are the new filings from this week. So Amazon in Illinois hired North River Consulting via Road Warrior Productions for $250 a day. That's actually not that much for a whole day. Maybe that's supposed to be an hour. Fresh Point Central in California hired Action Resources for $4,000 a day. That union election is open. Dartmouth Hitchcock Health in New Hampshire hired labor educators for $400 a day. DTE Energy in Michigan hired Greer Consulting for $475 an hour. And Park Auto in Indiana hired Lewis Labor Relations. They did not include a compensation amount. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.